So Dustin Poirier has decided to not take the fight against Tony Ferguson on UFC 254 on the undercard for Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. Now, that card was set to be absolutely stacked. Don't get me wrong, even with that fight not in there, it is still a stacked card. I'm sure they'll put something else in there or replace someone for Tony to fight. But something's got to be said for destroying possibly one of the best cards in UFC history for money reasons.
Yeah, dude, I'm bummed. I'm seriously bummed. Like, this fight should have happened. Like that card is gonna make so much money. Like, how much money did Dustin Poirier walk away for? Well, even if it was $1 million, dude, that fight is gonna make probably for the UFC, it's probably gonna make, I don't know, like $100 million. It's gonna make a lot of fucking money. Khabib is the biggest draw in the world. Like, clearly the biggest draw in the world. He might not be the biggest draw in America or the biggest draw in England, but you look at the fucking world, the Muslim world, yeah, he's the biggest draw in the world, dude.
Yeah.
And that fight is off the charts. So the fact that we don't get Tony versus Dustin is a bummer, man. I'm bummed.
And here's the thing for me is you and me discuss this. We like to go through the, I guess, the square of lightweights at the moment. Is it lightweights? Yeah, it's the lightweights. We go through the little square. We're like, oh, if Ferguson beats Poirier, then Poirier has to beat McGregor. Then McGregor Khabib too, or Poirier, and
Gaethje.
Ferguson beats him. So then and we've talked through all those options 1,000 times, you and me, and I think without this fight happening, that square doesn't fucking work. That's the one thing that comes away from this for me is that I'm like, cool, yeah, we can find out who Khabib is going to fight next or Gaethje is going to fight next. But to decide that, we needed a Poirier-Ferguson. We needed that. It's not like it was it's a like little nice drop on the end. We needed that so we could decide where to go from there. And I think, yeah, dude, I'm fucking bummed because that card was nuts.
I mean, I'm still excited about the card, and I can't wait to see Khabib and Gaethje. But first of all, like, Poirier Ferguson was really, really interesting. Like, like, for me, there's big questions around Ferguson. Like, is he clearly on the way down? Because he took a brutal beating, dude, and you don't come back from that very easily. Like, he was really damaged in that fight. So my prediction would have been that he is probably gonna, like, maybe Poirier saved Ferguson from an ass whipping. And Ferguson may be able to wait it out and fight the winner of Gaethje. No, he's not gonna get the winner. Like, if anyone gets the winner, it's gonna be Poirier.
Yeah, he's number one contender. So here's what I think about it. I don't think Ferguson's on his way out. I think Ferguson is one of those tough-minded people that's gonna be like a Donald Cerrone. You have to remember, dude. I saw him post something the other day, and it was like, people need to remember that last time he lost a fight, he was like, last time I lost, he was like, women didn't fight in the UFC. Like, he was like, there was no women's division. He was like, there wasn't even bantamweight or featherweight divisions at that point. He was like, there was fucking nothing, that might not be accurate, but anyway, he was like making these claims, and I'm like, it's a good point. I think Ferguson's going to come back. Now, I think he'll keep coming back, and he'll end up being a gateway man. I think he'll be like a Cerrone in that he will be someone who stands as a gatekeeper to the upper echelon. Now, is that a big gate to climb? Fuck yes, it is. Tony Ferguson is a tough motherfucker who will cut your face up with elbows. However, he also, at this point, it's like with Mike Perry and his girlfriend being his only coach. It's like with Diego Sanchez and him having this like life coach dude who fucking knows nothing about MMA in his corner and being his only corner man. Like, to me, I start going, and I'm watching Tony. He trains with legitimate striking coaches and whatnot, but also he's doing all this weird exercise stuff where he's wasting his time and his fucking effort. The other day I saw him doing something like a headstand against the wall. And for a couple of minutes there, I'm like, you're injuring your neck. I am watching you strain your fucking neck. Like, don't get me wrong, he does a sick head spin at the end of it, like breakdancing style. But also, I'm like, the way you were tweaking it a minute ago is not going to be good for your fucking neck, irregardless of who you are, unless you're a heavy metal singer who like, like, I think Ferguson is still going to be a problem, but I agree. I don't think Dustin was going to be out of the top three. I think Ferguson was probably going to lose to Dustin, but I think Ferguson is still in this lightweight division, very much so. Like, I think he's still, I think he may have got beaten up, dude. And don't get me wrong, I watched the punch where Gaethje hits him and he does the like head shake.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's so bad. But we've seen Cerrone get knocked out that bad. Alistair Overeem has been knocked out that bad. Fucking Junior Dos Santos has been knocked out that bad. You know, go through the history of anyone. You know, even some of the best ever, dude. GSP got knocked out. Fucking Michael Bisping has been fucking tapped. You know, it's just a thing. You know, it happens. But I think it's how he bounces back that will be important, especially to this like square that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Bounces back strong. We've got
Yeah. I'm pissed off at the UFC. I am. I'm just like, guys, you could have made this happen, and you're just being too fucking tight with your money, and you're sending messages out like, you know, we negotiate hard and all this other bullshit. And dude, the UFC has so much fucking money. Like, dude, just make the fight. Just fucking make the fight. You know, you always talk about we make the fights, and you know, put your fucking like, let's actually put it to the test. If we had this fucking card.
Put your money where your fighters are.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's actually stack a card with 4 crazy fights, and let's see if we can get 3 million fucking buys on that card, right? They're not. You know, they're just like penny pinching because they can, because Khabib's the headliner, and they're gonna get a big card anyway. It's gonna be a 2 million buy card. But my contention is, dude, those guys. Yeah, it was an important fight, and I'm fucking bummed. So yeah,
I think Dana needs to get his shit together. Like you said, dude. Again, the sheer pay-per-view numbers of that card is going to bring. And this is the thing: is it's the one thing that I will admit to is that I'm not sure how much this card will bring the the casual MMA fan, because don't get me wrong, Khabib is a huge name. And like you said, he might not be the biggest in America or the biggest in the UK, but worldwide, the biggest, right? He's going to bring in his audience. And Gaethje doesn't really have much of a crazy following at this point. Ferguson and Poirier, also as people, don't have crazy followings. Zabit and Yair definitely don't have big followings. You know, it's as you go down the list, you're a bit like, these fights realistically aren't like big money fights. What they are is big fights for the MMA community. Like Yair Rodriguez versus
Zabit
is one of the like most amazing fights, I think, for all of us big MMA fans, because it's a true striking battle that's about to go down. We're about to see 2 of the most high-level strikers in the world throw down. So to us, it doesn't matter that currently, I'm not sure if either of them are number 1 contenders or anything like that. I think they're probably in the top 10 for sure. But I don't think they're number 1 contenders. So to me, it's like, also, they're going to fucking fight fucking Alexander Volkanovski, who he's a problem as well. You know, for a true fight fan who, again, Alexander Volkanovski has fucking not a big following at this point. But I'll tell you what, I'm more excited to find out who's going to win between those guys and take that than I am to really see the Gaethje Khabib fight. Don't get me wrong. I, at this point, more watch Gaethje and Khabib in apprehension. I watch it nervous for him, because at this point, I love Khabib so much, and I think he's the people's champion. He is the greatest champ, GOAT, whatever. I get nervous watching his fights now, and I'm like, I just hope he wins so that his legacy doesn't get maimed like Ronda Rousey or, you know, a bunch of other people to name. Anderson Silva, you know, a bunch of people who've gotten clipped and their career ended on not a high note. Daniel Cormier, a recent one. I want him to go out on top. So I'm less bothered about that fight at this point. I'm just nervous about it. I'm like, I just fucking hope Khabib wins. But I'll tell you what, I'm fucking excited for Yair versus Zabit. And that's because I'm not someone who's as casual as the McGregor fan who's like, oh, McGregor versus Mayweather. I think you're right in the fact that this is going to be the biggest pay-per-view, one of the biggest pay-per-view cards for true MMA fans, people who really love the UFC and the rosters and the rankings and who's going to be fighting who and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's as big for people who don't watch the UFC and people who just get drawn in by the names,
I agree in one. So the casual, the English speaking Western casuals, probably not so. Like Conor McGregor would bring way more of that group.
Yeah.
But Khabib will bring the casuals in the Muslim world, right? So families, like, dude, he is an icon, right? That we don't really understand so much here in the West, but he is the equivalent, probably more so, because there's actually more Muslims than there are non-Muslims. So, dude, that fight card is gonna be huge. Trust me, the fucking numbers are gonna go through the roof.
Oh yeah, 100%. And dude, like if anyone understands fucking Khabib's draw in the world, is me. So for people to understand, I play CS:GO, which is an online computer game, a first-person shooter computer game, and it's got a large Russian following, especially if you're in the European servers and things like that. And I can tell you, if you bring up Khabib to any Russian person, at least that I have on Counter-Strike, a solid 95% know who I'm talking about. A solid 90% of that know if I mention his dad, which is then an even step further removed, but still such a high percentage. When he died, I was in a couple games with Russians and I was like, fucking sad face for Abdulmanap kind of thing. And they were like, yeah, man, really sad time. So even just random people that I talk to online know who he is. So I fully agree with you in that it's a big draw, but also that's why I think the Conor McGregor Khabib fight was the biggest, at the end of the day, the biggest pay-per-view ever, because you've got the casuals, you've got the hardcore MMA combined, and then you've got this whole Muslim religious following that usually doesn't even get involved with blood sports. Because
it was everyone. It was everyone, right? All the casuals around the world, and then anyone that was hardcore, everyone was in. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well,
see who replaces Poirier, if Ferguson's even going to fight. Let's fucking stay updated. We'll keep you guys updated.
We're chugging through. We're loving doing this stuff for you guys. If you want to support us, if you want to make sure that we can keep getting, better quality set, better quality lights, make the filming better.
Bigger batteries for the camera.
Bigger batteries for the camera.
Yes!
All that kind of stuff. You can do that by just liking, following the page, and subscribing to the YouTube channel. That is what really makes a difference to us.